Hello there, you're watching TVS News at 5 with me, Douglas Elliott. It's Wednesday, January 12th. Let's begin with our top story. Flood victims who are at risk, symptomatic or tested positive for COVID-19 will be isolated at quarantine centers to prevent the spread of the infection. In addition, those categorized under stage 3 and above will be referred to the hospital, and these are among the measures taken by Sarawak Disaster Management Committee SDMC to ensure compliance with the standard operating procedures at flood relief centers in the state. The measures are enforced in a bid to curb the spread of COVID-19 at temporary relief centers housing flood victims. This is in addition to the COVID-19 screening test done before being allowed to enter the centers.
That's why yang ada community response team tu, kita memang bagi panduan kepada mereka supaya dia boleh mengurus keadaan di kampung sendiri apabila ada berlaku. Misalnya yang ada demam, ada simptom tu, mungkin dia asingkan.
Additionally, the Ministry of Health MOH team unit will be stationed at all PBS. And to ensure that physical distancing is adhered to, the flood victims will be placed in individual tents. Gathering is also prohibited, unlike previously.
Kalau dekat bandar, dia prepare pack food. Di luar bandar, dia masak tapi also pack. They were not allowed to have a buffet.
The project delays and procrastinating around have now moved into one contentious public issue. Kotasamaran Municipal Council MPKS can no longer keep quiet and unfairly bear daily public criticisms and anger from the public pertaining to the conversion of 3 roundabouts into traffic light intersections along the Kuching-Samarahan Expressway. Its chairman, Dr. Peter MINOS, has stepped out and demanded Public Works Department to expedite the stalled projects. In a statement, MINOS said the traffic congestion during peak hours in the area has worsened, especially now due to the rainy weather, and led to additional commuting time to road users. And thus, he urged the matter to be resolved immediately. According to MINOS, the project is under JKR and not under the council, which he said many are unaware of. He hoped that with Sarawak now under phase 4 of the National Recovery Plan and COVID-19 cases dropping, JKR could get its contractor to restart work on the traffic light project and complete it as soon as possible, adding that the people in the area looked forward to the completion of the project. Youth wings can be a source of creativity and dynamism within a political party, as well as the opportunities to participate in decision-making. When space is created for meaningful youth participation, young people can play more substantive roles in parties. Hence, PBB's decision to establish a new youth wing should be seen as the right move in generating change within formal systems.
Dan perkara ini amat signifikan dilakukan oleh PBB sekiranya mereka mewujudkan sayap baru untuk khas untuk para belia ini. Ia boleh dikatakan sesuai kerana kita ingin melahirkan pemimpin muda yang akan menjadi pelapis kepada kepemimpinan negara ataupun dalam sebuah parti politik.
He added with the new wing, youth members would be exposed to ways on running a successful campaign and gain elected office.
Saya pasti perkara ini akan merubah dinamika politik dalam negara kita, dan apa yang paling penting, kita harus mendidik para belia ini dalam ilmu politik, ilmu tentang demokrasi agar mereka boleh memahami apa sebenarnya tuntutan dalam politik, apa sebenarnya maksud demokrasi itu sendiri.
A total of 10,000 chickens perished in an early morning fire at a chicken farm located along Jalan Bau Kuching today. The fire is said to have erupted around 3:30 a.m. Sarawak Fire and Rescue Department received the distress call around 3:40 a.m. The barn was fully gutted down to the ground. Firefighters managed to bring the fire under control an hour later, and the total damages and cause of the fire are still being determined. Welcome back. The Meteorological Department of Malaysia, or Met Malaysia, on Wednesday is forecasting severe level continuous rain or orange in 9 areas in Sarawak from today, January 12, until Thursday, January 13. In a Twitter post, the affected areas are namely Kuching, Surian, Samarahan, Sri Aman, Betong, Sarikei, Sibu, Muka and Kapit. Met Malaysia also issued a continuous rain alert for Sibu, Muka, Kapit as well as Bintulu, where continuous rain is expected to occur until tomorrow. Under Met Malaysia's warning system, orange level indicates continuous heavy rain is expected to occur with rainfall exceeding 60 millimeters within 6 hours, while yellow level indicates heavy rain is expected between 1 and 3 days. In a national update, the government will not reimpose the Movement Control Order MCO, but stricter control measures will be implemented at the country's entry and exit points in a bid to curb COVID-19. Senior Defence Minister Dr. Sri Hishamuddin Tun Hussein said, taking into account the latest development involving the Omicron variant, the control measures will be improved, including by adding more countries to the high-risk list.
Hishamuddin said the government's focus right now is on the efforts to transition into the endemic phase, which had been hampered by several issues before. He said the government is also closely monitoring the current status of the Malaysia-Singapore Vaccinated Travel Lane (VTL) by looking into possibilities to implement it with other countries, including Indonesia and Thailand. However, he said it depends on the COVID-19 situation not only in those countries but also Malaysia. Meanwhile, on the standard operating procedures for Thaipusam and Chinese New Year, Hishamuddin said the Ministry of Health and other stakeholders are in the midst of finalizing their SOPs and it would be announced very soon.
Right, Malaysia has announced its interest to host the 34th Southeast Asian Games in 2027. Olympic Council of Malaysia (OCM) expressed their interest after the Southeast Asian Games Federation contacted OCM regarding the possibility of hosting the Games following the withdrawal of Brunei, which was supposed to host the 2027 edition.
OCM President today confirmed that they have agreed to submit an expression of interest to CGC, while the OCM would forward this information to the government and further discussions will be held in due time. In a media conference after chairing the 3rd OCM Executive Board meeting today, he stated that Malaysia has a good chance to secure the hosting rights given the good relation they have with CGF. However, before deciding to host the SEA Games, he said OCM would have to look into the country's financial capability and the current nation's COVID-19 situation. Malaysia had previously organized the SEA Games 6 times, namely in 1965, 1971, 1977, 1989, 2001 and 2017. Apart from that, Muhammad Norza also said that the meeting today agreed to appoint OCM Assistant Treasurer Datuk Muhammad Nasir Ali as the Chief de Mission CDM for the 32nd SEA Games in Cambodia next year and Squash Rackets Association of Malaysia President Gerard Montero as Deputy CDM for the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, the United Kingdom this July.
Current COVID-19 vaccines may need to be updated if they are to provide continued protection against emerging variants, including Omicron. A group of 18 experts from the World Health Organization (WHO) said, despite the fact that existing vaccinations offer a high level of protection against severe disease and death caused by variants of concern, future vaccines that prevent infection and transmissions are needed.
The group of 18 experts were part of WHO's Technical Advisory Group on COVID-19 vaccine composition and has made a statement yesterday on the need of an update on current vaccines in order to protect against the evolution of the virus. WHO stated that these revisions must be based on strains that are genetically and antigenetically similar to the circulating variations. In order to minimize the need for further booster dosages, they should elicit broad, strong, and long-lasting reactions. The experts have encouraged COVID-19 vaccine manufacturers to provide data on the performance of current and Omicron-specific vaccines to help decide when changes to vaccine composition may be required. Regarding the current Omicron variant, the experts emphasized the importance of wider global access to current COVID-19 vaccines.
And fossilized remains of an ichthyosaur have been found in England's Midlands, the largest and most complete of its kind discovered in the UK. Ichthyosaurs were large marine reptiles, similar in shape to dolphins, but grew up to lengths of 25 meters. The 10-meter-long fossil was discovered in February 2021 in Rutland water and is thought to be 180 million years old. A conservationist found the remains during a routine draining of Lagoon Island for re-landscaping. Known as sea dragons due to having large eyes and teeth, ichthyosaurs went extinct around 90 million years ago. And that concludes TVS News at 5. Be sure to tune in to Nightline at 11:30 p.m. with Haris Zainuddin. Thank you so much. I'm Douglas Elliott. See you again.